What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is NCIS Season 16, Episode 7, 1,000 Words. Um, yeah, fairly straightforward, I guess. Nothing really special to talk about. Just, you got an artist who apparently has been, spray painting all this stuff, and then it gets stolen from a bank. Like, one of his paintings gets stolen from a bank, so they've tracked it down. Turns out they find the guy, he's dead, he's not the real Ritz. It turns out to be this girl, and then she leads them to this company who apparently is killing whales because of what they're doing, and then she leads them to the real killer. Yeah, I mean, it's just fairly straightforward. Nothing really special. The only thing that was kind of like, aside from Casey, because she's still the worst, is just the beginning. I, I don't know, like, again, just I get that it's TV. I get that it's not supposed to be that realistic, but at some point you have to write realistic characters. What guard guarding a credit union is going to be listening to blaring music in his headphones? Like, I don't know. It's just what credit union is going to hire a guard that's a little weenie, like, oh yeah, I'm the best guard there ever is because I called them in and they were so scared of me. At some point, you have to be somewhat realistic. Like, it has to be based in some sort of realism. Like, if the guard was a doofus, like some big, meaty guy, but he's just an idiot. And so that's why he's listening to the music and he hears the stuff going off. He's like, hello? Hey, we got a problem here. And then at the end of it all, like, they're talking about how he's being fired, and then he's just like, I don't know why he fired me. I mean, they didn't take anything. That would make more sense. But to have a guard that literally, like, he doesn't look intimidating, he doesn't look like he could be a guard, and he's listening to music on the, why? Where's the realism? How's that supposed to be funny? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make logical sense. Like, you can't just do something that is weird and do something that doesn't make sense and expect us to laugh at it. Like, I don't know. It just feels to me like they don't understand comedy when they do stuff like this. So, anyways, but yeah, I don't know. Just the whole thing with Ritz and all of this stuff wasn't too intriguing. She and Bishop were kind of forming a bit of a friendship. She might come back, she might not, but she was trying to, like, get this artist side out of it, Bishop. And then I don't even know what was going on at the end. Like, I guess maybe they're hinting that Ritz is not one person, like it's multiple people, and this girl is just one of them, because, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, Ritz hit or tagged this thing in Australia. What's going on? I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to go for with that. Just seemed like a weird ending to me. And also, are Torres and Bishop a thing now? Like, they seem to be hinting that maybe they're interested in each other, but they're not really saying if they're dating or not. But now all of a sudden Torres and Bishop are, like, doing yoga. Ooh, excuse me. Doing yoga classes together, and he's hanging out at her house a lot. I mean, are they implying that? Because, again, I don't think they're a good match. I think they're very good friends. I like them together as friends and as a team working together. They have good banter, but I just don't see them as a couple. And yet it seems like maybe that's what they're trying to hint, but they've not actually confirmed anything. I mean, he even called her Babe a couple episodes ago with the Hitman, or was that last episode? That was last episode. I mean, he called her Babe at the end, and I know she's just like, don't call me Babe. So I'm just like, is that supposed to be a funny banter moment, or is this, like, confirming that they're together? Like, what is going on? This show doesn't want to explain anything. So I don't know. Again, if that is something that's happening, I don't really see it. I don't see them being a good couple, but who knows? The show's done weirder things before. Like, try to replace Abby with an Abby character that's not Abby and doesn't act as well as the girl who plays Abby. So, they could try. Anyways, but that's it for this episode, so on to the next one. See you there. And now episode 8, Friendly Fire. So, pretty interesting case in this one. You got a guy showing up dead, and then a Marine and the other, like, all the way in Afghanistan, also turns up dead at the same time, and come to find a connection between the two. And yeah, I really like how they handled the case. I think it flowed pretty well, finding out about this and trying to connect the dots and find out how they're connected, and then realizing, oh, hey, this one guy has something to do with it. And then he immediately gives them the information. that they need to catch the guy who is essentially working with both sides to keep his contracts going overseas. So, but yeah, it was fairly straightforward, but I honestly thought it was very well written considering, I don't know, I just thought it was a good case overall. Was a little there were a couple scenes, obviously anything to do with Casey again is just super annoying, and she doesn't get any better as the episodes go on. It's like they can't figure out what they want to do with her, so now they're just kind of giving her quirky cliches to do. Like in one episode, she's quirky mad, and then one episode she's quirky happy, and one episode she's quirky awkward. It just, I don't get it. Like, you couldn't have just created a new character for this. You couldn't have actually like created a character with depth. You had to just say, let's just throw a walking cliche into the part. And I don't know if she's a good actress or not. I just know that at the very least, whoever's directing her is not giving her good feedback, because it's not fun to watch. I hate to say it, but it's not, and it should be. So, but no, another kind of bit of weird acting that happened in this one. This one was a bit more funny to me though. Like, I was actually laughing at this because it was so bad. But when they showed this one guy, because the name, I think it was the name of that was on the whatever the dead guy was wearing that they found in the pond. I can't remember how they connected him to a guy that was still alive, but they connected him to a colonel that was still alive. And it was so bad because you hear Ellie like showing the picture. She's like, "Do you recognize him?" And off screen, it's like, "Oh my god!" And then cuts to his face. Is like, "No, who is he?" And just the most dry way. Like, it goes from super dramatic. "Oh my god, no, who is he?" It was so bad. It was so bad. It's like they clearly recorded these two sound bites on two different takes. Like, one, they're like, "All right, we want a super dramatic reaction. Oh my god, no, who is he?" And then next one, "Actually, you know what? Try a little bit more dry. Oh my god, no, who is he?" And then they like combined the, "Oh my god, no, who is he?" It was so bad. It's one of those things that whenever there are bad actors, or at least bad direction given to actors, there's something about it that can be really, really funny if done in the right way. Because sometimes you look at, there are some bad actors out there, or actors that were given really wrong direction. People are still trying to decide where Hayden Christensen falls in this. But, like, his sort of bad acting in Star Wars was just annoying to watch. Because it didn't really, it stuck around for too long. It didn't really have any fun moments. I know a lot of people have memed the "I don't like sand" thing. But even that scene is still just like, you're watching it and you're just like, ugh. But then there's bad acting like this, where, like, they can't decide what they want to do, so they do, "Oh my god, no, who is he?" And, like, I wish we could have seen his face through that. And I know that's probably why it didn't match up quite correctly. Like I said, it was probably two different sound bites from two different takes. But I don't know, something about that I wish we could have seen. Like, was his face super dramatic and then just cuts to, "No, who is he?" Anyways, I know I went on a little bit of a rant about that, or not really rant, but just, I don't know, it was funny. But yeah, aside from that, there's not much else to talk about. Again, kind of dropped maybe a hint that there's something between Bishop and Torres, or I don't know, like, because they're talking about this one, the woman who died over in Afghanistan, and then the guy who died. They're talking about how they're taking these pictures on social media, and they seem to be really close, but then Bishop's like, "Yeah, but I read their correspondence, and it didn't seem like there was anything romantic." And then Torres is just like, "Bishop, come on. Single guy, single girl. Really, you don't think there's anything there?" She's like, "What? A guy and a girl can have platonic relationships." True, by the way. And then Torres is like, "Yeah, but why?" So she kind of gave him a look, and I don't know, like, I'm kind of curious now. Like, I don't want it to happen, but also I'm kind of like, is it happening? Because they seem to hint that it is, but now, like, Torres is basically saying, like, no, why would we be platonic friends? Like, that doesn't happen. But Bishop is trying to be like, no, that can happen. So is she trying to just deny what they have? Or, I don't know. It seemed kind of weird, and it seemed kind of like maybe they're, again, toying with the idea, but not really making a decision about it. At this point, I do kind of just want them to make a decision, even if it means that Bishop and Torres aren't together. I still don't see it, but, I don't know, just do something about it instead of just teasing and hinting and oh my gosh guys, they're hanging out at her house and oh my gosh they're doing yoga and oh was it so cute. It's worse whenever you do that than when you just make a decision, say all right, Torres and Bishop are together, and then I can officially say all right, yes I do like them together, or no I don't. More than likely I'm probably not going to work out, but either way. But yeah, and then the other kind of side story in this though was just sort of there. It didn't really amount to anything. It's this guy who felt responsible for what happened to the woman who died in Afghanistan. So he was really trying his best to like get her out of there quickly so they could get her to her funeral procession, which was in 2 days. And I don't know, like there was a nice moment between him and Gibbs whenever he wasn't leaving the morgue. Not the morgue. Is it the morgue? I can't remember the name of the room now. But there was a nice moment between him and Gibbs, but I don't know, it didn't really lead to anything. It was a good story, but that was about it. It didn't progress anything really. So I don't know, kind of a nitpick, but I guess it was well written, so I'll give it a pass. But anyways, that's it for this episode. On to the last of these three. See you there. And finally, episode 9, Tailing Angie. Again, just another decent NCIS episode. You got girl who apparently went to prison for several years because she and this guy that she was in love with robbed some stuff from this other guy who's a part of the Navy. And I feel like I've seen stories like this before where this guy wants NCIS to find these people because of the money, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure that was all that was taken, was just the money. And then sure enough, all of a sudden a PI shows up out of nowhere. They're like, what's he doing here? I'm thinking, well, he's probably been hired by the guy to find them, and sure enough, he has. And it turns out it wasn't just money; it was also these pictures that apparently were very incriminating. So, I mean, I've seen it done before. It was okay. I did kind of like the camaraderie between like Gibbs trying to help this girl out. You could tell he knew she was just in a bad spot, and he was trying to give her a chance to turn her life around and not end up in prison, but she didn't take it. And even Sloane, kind of going up to her and kind of talking to her a bit to help her realize, hey, you may think this guy loved you, and he may have, but it's still not worth wasting your life away. You can trust us to help you. And then ultimately, find out that the guy has been killed by their partner. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, decent episode. Nothing really too surprising happens. Ducky, something's going on with him going to Mount Rushmore, and he got snowed in, or well, the place he was going to got snowed in, so he couldn't travel there for a day. I don't know what they're doing with Ducky. It's like, it's weird because yeah, Jimmy is kind of coming to his own, and to the point almost where they don't even really need Ducky anymore, but yet they don't want to take him off the show completely, I guess. And so they're just trying to give him something to do, and I don't know, he's just there. And then on top of that, Torres, for some reason, they get this car that smells really bad, and then it affects this new sweater that he got, and he's really upset about it. The side stories in this one were not really that interesting, so overall it was an okay episode. Just nothing really grabbed my attention. I was just sort of watching and waiting for them to get to the inevitable conclusion that, hey, this one guy that was the inside man, he's the bad guy. Moving on. But yeah, so that's it for this one. So let me know what you guys thought of these 3 episodes. We can talk about, discuss all the good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future NCIS, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.